Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I'll be sharing exactly how I scored band 8 in IELTS. As I have mentioned earlier as well that I did not use any paid resources or I did not go for any sort of IELTS Academy or something like that. I used all the free resources available on the internet and prepared from that. In this video, I'll be covering all 4 modules: listening, reading, writing and speaking. So if you're planning your IELTS journey or stuck in band 6.5 or 7, then this video is for you. So let's begin with listening. Honestly, I believe it's one of the easiest to improve if you practice consistently. And no, there is no magic formula here. You just have to improve your listening skills by practicing it over and over again. So first thing is a website which I use for practice, and I'll drop the link in the description, and it's totally free, so you can access it with the link I'm putting in the description box. It's not sponsored, of course. It's just have a lot of practice tests which you can use to improve your listening module. In fact, you can use it for other modules as well. Like I used to do at least one full test every day in the last few weeks before my exam. So that really helped me get used to the accent, the speed of the audio and the types of questions they ask. And number 2 is basically related to watching movies and dramas in English. Like if you have been watching English dramas, movies or YouTube content, that's already helping you more than you realize. So you're already training your ears without even knowing it. But if you haven't done that before, I really suggest you start watching English content regularly. It helps a lot to build your natural listening abilities. So the next thing is to get familiar with the question format, and it's completely related to practice thing which I discussed earlier. So since there are multiple choice questions, fill in the blanks, matching information, maps and more, so the more familiar you are with these question styles, the easier it gets to follow along during the actual test. So this can only happen with the practice. Here I want to add one more thing, that I have made a very detailed video for this listening module and it's available on my channel. You can check it out. I'll put the link in description box. Also, I will link it above on this video. So do check it out if you want to, because it's really detailed and very good video for listening module, I believe. Like I have shared all the details related to listening module in that video, like including all the resources, YouTube channels and everything that I used for preparation. So the next step is basically my most favorite one. So before each section begins, you get about 30 seconds to look at the questions. I know it's very short, but it's enough to at least go through the questions. So don't waste that time. Use it to read the questions carefully, so you already have an idea of what to expect when the audio starts. That way you can listen with the purpose, like you know what kind of answer you're looking for exactly. And if you're doing a paper-based test, then you can underline or circle keywords in the questions, and you can like predict the kind of questions or answers you will need, like is it a number, name or location or a time. Next one is also very important, which is don't panic, don't go back. If you miss something, leave it and move on immediately. Do not waste your time, because if you do that, you're gonna miss the next question as well. So if you feel like you missed an answer or something like that, just move on quickly. Once you complete all the sections, you usually have 30 seconds in computer-based test and 2 minutes in paper-based, I think. You can use those 30 seconds to guess the answer for that missed blank if you want to. But please don't waste your time during the test, because it won't help. Lastly, review your mistakes after each practice test. Don't just practice. Basically, you should be reflecting on each test so you know the mistakes or weaknesses and you can improve them. So that's all about listening section. That's how I prepare for the IELTS listening module, and it really helped me get a solid score. And I got 8.5 by the way. So now let's move on to the speaking module. And I know many people are scared of it. For this section, I really recommend that you stay calm and natural as much as possible. I won't say I practice a lot. I'll be very honest with you here. I did not practice a lot for speaking before my test, because I was very confident that I can talk in English easily. And I only started taking it seriously the night before my actual IELTS exam. So which I now regret deeply, because I got 7 bands in speaking anyways. You don't need to judge me for this. I'm actually very good at it, okay? I actually believe I could have done much better, but anyways, even in that short time I followed a strategy that actually helped. So let's talk about those strategies. I actually watched a lot of short videos on YouTube, which is from IELTS Advantage YouTube channel. I'll put the link in description box. By the way, you can check it out on YouTube as well. So now I did not binge watch only. I actually watched a lot of short videos, but there was a strategy behind it. I paused a video whenever he asked a question in those videos, and then I answer the question myself. Then compare my answer with how the test taker in that video is answering. So that really helped me realize two important things, like how other people answer with structure and fluency, and how my own answer sounded in comparison. Like, I was actually answering way too short. I wasn't explaining stuff like the people in the video were doing, even though I did not do tons of speaking practice over weeks, but this one thing actually helped a lot. So the tip number one is practice by speaking out loud. Do not just read or think of the answers in your head, just say it out loud. If you want, you can actually practice in front of mirror as well, or you can just simply use your phone to record your answers and then listen to those audios and see the mistakes. Tip number two is to keep it simple and natural. You do not need heavy vocabulary like GRE to get a high band. So do not try to memorize 1,000 words or 100 words for IELTS. You just need to focus on saying things very clearly and making sure your words actually are being used correctly. So that's very important. If you are not sure about any word meaning, so you better don't use that word. If you know the meaning, if you're sure 101% that it's correct and it is appropriate for this particular sentence, only then use it. So don't try to impress the examiner with your vocabulary. It won't help. All you need to do is just to show them that you can actually talk in English and convey your message in this language clearly. I'm not discouraging you from using the advanced vocabulary at all. I just mean that only use it if you know the correct meaning. So the third thing is do not memorize answers. As I mentioned earlier, it's not a good idea to memorize the answer. So tip number 4 is be confident even if you're not sure. So there were times when I didn't even know the exact answer. Like, there was a particular question related to sports and I have no interest in sport, honestly. And I feel like this was a question that actually hurt my bands a lot in speaking module, because I was actually like, oh my god, I did not expect this question. I don't exactly remember the question, but it was specifically related to a particular sport. I don't know. So yeah, and I stuttered a bit at that point. Like, I could not even say adventurous word right. So because of the stuttering and being scared of that question, I would say. But anyways, I think you can do a better job if you are confident. So last one is to do not speak too quick or too slow. If you're like me, who speaks usually a bit fast, like if you have noticed in the videos as well that sometimes I'm speaking a bit too fast, I always try to speak a bit slowly, but sometimes I forget about it. So yeah, do not do this in IELTS exam. Just speak in normal pace and tone. Lastly, also use sample questions which are available on Google and many other websites. So just try to answer them yourself, and I actually did that as well. And then try to ask ChatGPT to provide you an answer for that question and see what they are saying. And you can also watch a video from YouTube, or maybe read an article from any other website if you want to. That again can actually help you a lot to compare your answer with the actual, from someone who is actually good at it, or maybe better than you. That's about it. I think you just don't need to overthink this part and speak like you're talking to a friendly stranger who is just trying to have a conversation with you. But be respectful, be mindful that you're talking to examiner as well. Do not be scared, but yeah, you should, respect those boundaries. All right, now let's talk about the reading module, which again a lot of people find very stressful. I think it's mainly because of the fact that it has long passages and then only 60 minutes, so the time pressure is really a thing in this section. Like, also for me, it's very difficult to read these those 3 long passages in one go, but with the help of practice, I think I was able to do it, and I again got 8.5 bands in reading section. I actually practiced from the same website which I mentioned, and I practiced on daily basis for about 2 weeks before the test, and it really helped me out a lot, and I highly suggest that to you guys as well. So the first thing first, I did not read the whole passage first. I know many people emphasize on the fact that you understand the whole passage and all that, read it, but I do not recommend that because it's not possible for me. I do not I'm not the kind of person who can remember the entire passage when I'm answering the questions. So I preferred reading the question and answers first and then finding the answer for that particular question. I know questions are not always in the sequence, like in the order, but sometimes they are. I mean, in most of the cases they are in order, so it saves a lot of time. So all you have to do is read the questions first and then go back to the passage and locate the irrelevant information. So skimming does not mean rushing, it means reading smartly basically. You just need to look for keywords, dates or names or anything like that which is mentioned, and kind of connect the question to that section of the passage. Honestly, it will save a lot of time because just imagine you read the entire passage and then you realize while answering the question that you forgot the entire information which you read in the passage, and then you have to read it again or maybe skim through it again. So that means double effort, and it's going to take a lot of time, and you don't have enough time. You have only 60 minutes to read all those 3 passages. So work smart, not hard. So the next important thing is time management in this section. There are 3 sections and they get harder as you go. So you better give less time to passage 1 and 2 and more to passage number 3. So you can give around 15 minutes or 10 minutes for passage 1 and allocate around 20 minutes for passage 2 and then remaining for passage 3. And some people do not find passage 3 difficult. For them is a specific topic which is difficult, like history related passages were the toughest for me. So I used to struggle with them because the language can be complex and the information feels very dry. So whenever I saw a history related passage, I try to give it more time. Next thing is you must know the types of question you need to prepare for. There are true, false, not given, and then matching headings, and there were sentence completion questions and multiple choice were also there. So yeah, basically you have to know the type of questions you're gonna see. I kind of forget a few of them because I took IELTS last year. So you need to basically try to practice the different approaches used to solve a particular kind of question. Like for matching headings, you need to look at the main idea of each paragraph. Again, for reading section, I recommend that website for practice, and you need to practice a lot of test samples. And you can also check out the videos related to IELTS reading on the IELTS Advantage YouTube channel. Lastly, just don't panic if the passage looks very difficult or very lengthy. Just focus on one question at a time and try to solve it out. You can easily do it. Now let's talk about the last module, which is writing module. Again, practice is the key for this section as well. I don't want to share my bands. Should I? Okay, I got 7 bands. Again, don't judge me for this. I did not practice this section either. Basically, I'm the kind of person who likes getting result on spot. So when I was doing reading and writing section, listening section, I was actually getting the answers as well. But for writing and speaking, I knew there's no mechanism that can actually evaluate my answers. So I kind of tend to ignore these sections. I regret it, of course. But this actually lowered my score in these sections. Anyways, I'm quickly going to share all the resources that helped me out to achieve 7 bands, because I know these are also dream bands for many people. Anyway, so writing section has 2 tasks, task 1 and task 2. Task 1 is usually related to graph, chart, process, or a map. By the way, this video is entirely related to academic IELTS. I have no idea about the general IELTS test. So the task 2 is related to, is basically about an essay on a given topic. And the tricky part is that task 2 carries more weight. But you cannot ignore the task 1 either. Because if you don't practice, if you don't prepare it, then you can definitely lose a lot of marks. For task 1, I highly recommend this YouTube channel. You can check out their videos. Do check it out for task 1. It really helped me out. And for task 1, I kind of recommend that you should know essential words and phrases like increase by or rapidly growing, etc. Again, you do not need to memorize huge vocabulary because IELTS is not like GRE where you need to memorize some words or heavy vocab. But yes, phrases like peaked at, significant decline, rapidly growing, and all that actually boost your score. So since task 1 is all about clear factual academic style reporting, so you better know these words. Also, you are not supposed to give any of your personal opinion in that section. Just describe what you see in the picture, in the diagram, or the map. And if it's the process diagram, you make sure you use the words like first, next, and then after that, etc. This can improve the structure of your paragraph. So I basically follow the tips and tricks from this YouTube channel. and then I try to use those tips. And for that, of course, I practice real questions. Again, it's not about binge watching. Do not only watch videos or try to consume a lot of content. Try to practice more, because this is something which will help you. And the task 2 was related to essay. So for this, I watched videos from IELTS Advantage YouTube channel, and it's honestly amazing. They explain the different types of essays, like opinion based or a problem solution. Then there is a kind of double question essays. So basically, learn how to solve or approach this section from those videos available on this channel. Lastly, I would like to mention one most important thing. You cannot ignore spelling mistakes. They can actually lower your grades, your bands, so you better be careful about it. Like, I make a lot of them. I don't know why, but I do that, especially when I'm under pressure. I'm actually going to make a lot of spelling mistakes. But what happens when you are using your Word, or even when you are using LaTeX, you usually have Grammarly or some built-in correction things. I don't know what to call them now. But yes, you see they highlight your spelling mistake. But this is not the case in IELTS exam. You have to be careful about it yourself. Even if you are doing computer-based tests, the computer or the test interface won't highlight your spelling mistakes or typos. So you be careful about it, and try to practice IELTS writing section without those extensions. Also, avoid very long sentences. This can actually help you to avoid mistakes as well. And if you need to practice some questions, you can check out the website which I mentioned earlier in this video as well, and I'm going to put the link in description box. So use that website for almost all the sections, all the modules, and practice properly. So guys, that's it. That's how I got an overall band 8 in IELTS. And please remember, everything that I shared in this video is based on my own experience, and I believe these free resources and practical tips worked for me. So I just hope that they help you too. This is probably the last video in IELTS series. I won't be making any other video related to IELTS. I have made a couple of videos like which format you should choose, IELTS paper based or computer based. Then I did the comparison between IDP and British Council, and I also made a detailed video for IELTS listening module. So I thought I combine all the modules and discuss them in this one video, and then move on to the GRE or maybe PhD application series. As I have applied to 8 universities in USA for PhD program, so I'll be sharing all that as well. But let me know in the comment section which section you find hardest. If you want me to break down any specific section or a module, I will definitely do it for you guys. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who is preparing for IELTS. This is actually going to help me as well. So thank you for watching, and best of luck with your IELTS journey.